It has been said that freedom and creativity will change society faster than politics. And the person who said this was Viktor Pinchuk, a Ukrainian business millionaire listed on the Forbes rich list. And to be honest, I'd never heard of him before I heard this quote, but I couldn't shake his words. Why? Because the idea that creativity had the power to transform society challenged my view of creativity, and I couldn't shake it. As a professional career creative, I've spent the best part of my life nurturing, honing, developing, teaching, and earning a living from creativity. I know the power of creativity. I work with businesses on a daily basis to help them market their services using creative services, such as powerful brand, emotive video, striking images, catchy tunes, and powerful words. From a young age, I knew I was creative, and I chose creative paths through education. I went to art college, I did a design degree, and chose a career in the creative industries. I've even lectured in design, launched creative networks, and run creative businesses. And yet in all of that time, I've never once viewed creativity as having this power to transform society. I never once stopped to think what the creativity was influencing. A few years ago, at my brother-in-law's for Christmas, I got chatting with someone, and afterwards I realised she'd added me to a Facebook group, Ida Stone. Ida was a child who was terminally ill with cancer, and this group had been made to raise awareness of this particularly rare form of cancer. And it was a simple premise in this group. People would paint pictures onto stones, and on the reverse, they would put the hashtag of the group. They would then take a picture of the stone, upload it to the group, before they then hid the stone somewhere in public for people to find and re-hide. And upon finding a stone, somebody would search for the hashtag, find the group, and find out about this rare form of cancer. Paint, post, re-hide. It wasn't a new concept, and actually my daughters and I have enjoyed finding such stones in our local park. But what interested me about this group, what intrigued me, was that over the next 6 months, I saw this group grow from a couple of hundred to thousands, to tens of thousands of followers. I saw how people posted pictures of their stones that they'd left in parks and canal sides, streets and hedgerows. I saw how people took these stones on holiday with them, and they put them on bridges in Venice and beaches in Australia. They took them to the Taj Mahal in Disneyland. Stones even went on an expedition to Antarctica. Ida's stones went global, and celebrities even got in on it, being pictured with the stones. Nobody could have predicted the reach of these stones. And if you tried to orchestrate or recreate this reach, in marketing terms, it would have cost tens of thousands of pounds. And yet this simple creative premise went global. And this is what I realised. Creativity attached to a cause is like a superpower. And not creativity for creativity's sake, but where creativity is a vehicle to deliver a message or a bridge for connection. And it started to change my view of creativity. I started to see creativity as one of the most influential tools available to humans. And not just for businesses and organisations to market themselves, but creativity available for every human being, wherever they are, whatever they do, and whatever the budget. Another example of the power of creativity, and not a global one this time, but local. So I'm involved in my local STEM playgroup. In fact, it's the one that my children went to when they were younger. And I've stayed on ever since, and I volunteer my skills. And one year, when they decided to make a Santa's grotto for the children's Christmas party, I was like, oh, can I get involved? Because anybody who knows me knows I love decorating and I love Christmas. I've even been known to put my tree up in October. It was only the once, so don't judge me. So for me to get involved in building this grotto was like my two favourite things coming together. So with a shoestring budget and a few willing volunteers, we set about creating this grotto. We had a gazebo and as many Christmas trees and fairy lights as we could get our hands on, and anything that we could do purpose to look Christmassy. Over the years, this grotto grew and evolved, and we started getting donations from local businesses and families, and it soon became one of the most anticipated events in the gameplay group calendar. It now takes a team of 30 plus volunteers a week to set up. It spans 2 floors and not only boasts a Santa's Grotto, utility trail and live action characters, it has its very own Narnia, complete with a snow queen, lion and waterfall. But the thing about this grotto is that some parents and children, as they walk through the experience, they will move to tears. Now it's not because it was the best grotto in the world, it's far from it. But they were moved to tears because the people who created the grotto cared enough to create this magical experience for the children. Creativity provided the bridge to show the community love. To be clear, it's not the polytunnel covered in blackout material, carefully held together with positioning bulldog slips that made people cry. No, people were moved to tears because they felt loved and valued. A sentiment that may otherwise have not been received had it been communicated in words. Because creativity bypasses words and goes straight to the heart. There are 2 things I want to draw out about creativity. Firstly, creativity is free. You don't have to have a mega budget to have an influence. We've seen that with Isle of Stones and Grotto. And in fact, creativity is a little bit like making a cake. The ingredients themselves are not much to look at, a little bit like these boxes, which you can pick up anywhere for next to nothing. But it's not the ingredients that are important, it's what you do with them. A few strategic cuts, some battery-powered fairy lights, and a darkened room, and you have a cardboard festival. Creativity is free. Secondly, creativity can influence on many levels. So Isle of Stones raised awareness about childhood cancer. But something interesting happened. People started to meet in groups around painting these stones, and then get such joy from seeing where these stones would end up around the world. And some of these people hadn't created for years. And when talking to one of the organisers, she said it was like art therapy. Some of these people who came to the groups were struggling with their mental health, and just the simple act of sitting in community, painting these stones, enabled them to open up and share their emotions. Likewise, the grotto, it served the stay and play group. It now opens up to the public and serves the wider community. But for those involved in making it, it created this hugely significant shared experience. And it's amazing the vulnerable conversations you can have while stringing lights along a forest of trees. Well, that's all very good, some of you there might be thinking. I'm not creative, I can't draw. Some of you may even be able to pinpoint the exact moment you decided you were creative. Maybe you were sat in an art lesson at school and your teacher said, that's not the way to draw a tree, and that sealed the deal for you. You said, right, I can't draw, I'm not creative. But what if I was to tell you, creativity is not about painting and drawing. It's not about your musical or artistic talent. It's not about how well you can use a camera or a keyboard. These are all skills that can be learned. But, in the words of Albert Einstein, creativity and intelligence have fun. In the words of Steve Jobs, creativity is just simply connecting things. In the words of I. Wiley, creativity is the power to act. Or, as the Oxford Dictionary describes it, creativity is the use of your imagination. An original thought to create, inventiveness. We are all creative. We are all born with a limitless potential to create. The problem is, some of us have had creativity educated out of us. We think we're not good enough. We think we're frauds. We think we haven't got the right qualifications or experience. Or we compare ourselves to others. We begin to doubt our own ability. I'll let you into a secret. Every creative professional I've ever met has exactly the same thoughts. So next time you catch yourself saying, I'm not creative, think again. You are more creative than you know. And the next time you're in a situation where you want to see something change, remember, freedom and creativity has the power to change society faster than politics. The world needs your creativity. Your community needs your creativity. And you need your creativity. Creativity is your superpower.